If you don't control your thoughts, they will control you. And that's the reason most people stay stuck in the same place year after year. Training your mind is the key to breaking free. Most people let their minds control them instead of the other way around. But one decision to train your mind can flip that script and change your entire life. The biggest obstacle isn't outside you, it's the way your mind reacts when things get tough. Train your mind first, and winning becomes the natural next step. What if you could train your mind to win no matter what life throws at you? Imagine facing tough challenges with confidence, staying calm under pressure, and finding solutions when others give up. This video is about learning exactly how to do that, how to build a mindset that helps you succeed every single time. It's not about luck or talent. It's about how you think, how you react, and how you keep pushing forward even when things get hard. You'll discover powerful ways to strengthen your focus, control your emotions, and take control of your own success. This isn't just talk. It's a guide to changing your mental habits so you can achieve your goals and feel unstoppable. If you're ready to train your mind to win in every situation, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Control your thoughts before they control you. Most people wake up already losing. The day hasn't even started, and their minds are already full of noise. Thoughts about problems they haven't even faced yet. Worries about things that might not even happen. Regret about what they didn't do yesterday. They're pulled in every direction before their feet even hit the floor. That's how it begins for many. A mind already racing, already scattered, already filled with doubt, worry, and fear. And then they wonder why the day feels heavy, why progress feels impossible, why life keeps spinning without clarity or control. It's because they haven't taken charge of the one thing that controls everything else, their thoughts. Here's the truth. Your life moves in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. If your thinking is scattered, your results will be scattered. If your thinking is fearful, your decisions will be fearful. If your mind is filled with anger, guess what shows up in your actions? That's right, more of the same. Most people don't realize how much power their thoughts have over how they feel, how they speak, how they treat others, and even how they see themselves. You don't see the chains, but they're there. You don't feel the weight at first, but it builds day after day, until you're reacting to life instead of directing it. Now, this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. This isn't about thinking happy thoughts and hoping life gets easier. No. This is about deciding once and for all that your mind doesn't run wild without your permission. It doesn't get to flood your day with anxiety or fill your nights with doubt. You take the wheel. You become the gatekeeper of what enters, what stays, and what leaves. Because if you don't, the world will do it for you. And the world doesn't care about your peace of mind. It will hand you fear, negativity, distraction, and noise. And if you're not careful, you'll accept it. And you'll start living like most people, tired, distracted, unsure, and always chasing a moment of clarity that never arrives. You have to slow down and listen to what your mind is feeding you. What are the thoughts that play on loop when no one else is around? What are the things you say to yourself when you fail, when you're alone, when you're afraid? That voice, the one inside your head, is either helping you move forward or it's holding you back. It's either reminding you of your strength or reinforcing your weaknesses. And here's the key. That voice is trainable. It's not fixed. It's not permanent. But it won't change unless you start becoming intentional about what it says, how it speaks, and what you allow it to repeat. Every time a negative thought shows up, you have a choice. You can let it stay or you can replace it. And replacing doesn't mean ignoring. It means being honest with yourself. If your mind says you're not good enough, stop and respond. Why do I think that? What proof do I have? Most of the time, that thought has no foundation. It's just fear dressed up as truth. You can challenge it. You can tell yourself, that might have been true yesterday, but not today. Every time you respond that way, you weaken the grip of that negative thought. You show your mind who's in charge. This isn't a one-time thing. This is daily work. You're not trying to silence every negative thought forever. You're learning how to not let them control you. That's the difference. Strong minds still have fear. They still have doubt. But those thoughts don't lead the way. They don't make the decisions. They don't dictate the mood of the day. When you train your mind, you get to decide what thoughts take root and which ones pass by. Think about this. If someone walked into your house and started yelling at you, telling you that you're worthless, telling you that you'll never make it, you'd kick them out. You wouldn't let them sit on your couch and stay the night. But that's exactly what we do with destructive thoughts. We let them move in. We entertain them. We give them power. That has to stop. You have to treat your mind like your home. Guard it. Protect it. Don't let just anything live there. There are a few simple actions that make a big difference. Start your day by setting your mind. Before the world comes knocking, decide what kind of thoughts you're going to carry. Choose thoughts that support you, not tear you down. Throughout the day, pause and check in with your thinking. Ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's not helping, switch it. Say it out loud if you have to. Your voice is powerful. The mind listens. Be careful who you spend time with. People carry thoughts, and thoughts are contagious. Spend too much time around people who complain, who gossip, who doubt themselves, and you'll start thinking the same way. Surround yourself with people who speak strength, who remind you of your ability, who challenge you to think better. They don't have to be perfect, nobody is, but they should lift your thoughts, not lower them. Also feed your mind well. What you read, what you watch, what you listen to, it matters more than you think. If you're always consuming chaos, drama, and negativity, don't be surprised when your mind feels unsettled and uneasy. Choose content that makes you stronger, wiser, more grounded. Just like your body needs good food, your mind needs good fuel. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about building the strength to face it with clarity, with focus, with power. You'll have days when it's harder, days when the mind wants to spiral, days when everything feels heavier than usual. That's normal. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is direction. Are you heading toward a stronger mind, or are you letting it drift wherever it wants? Even when it's hard, stay consistent. The more you take charge of your thoughts, the more natural it becomes. Look back at your life. Think about the times when things were tough. Now ask yourself, how much harder did it feel because of the way you were thinking? Chances are your thoughts made it worse. Maybe they made you doubt yourself or fear the future or feel stuck when there were still options. Now imagine if your thinking had been clearer, stronger, more focused. Same situation, but a different mindset. And that changes everything. Chapter 2. Visualize success daily with absolute mental clarity. Most people walk through life with a fog in their minds. They say they want something better. They say they're chasing success. But when you ask them what that success actually looks like, they freeze. They don't know. They speak in vague terms. They say they want freedom, happiness, purpose. But they haven't taken the time to sit with those words and ask what they really mean to them. Their vision isn't clear. It's blurry. It's incomplete. And when your mind doesn't have a clear picture of where you're going, it has no idea how to get there. If you woke up tomorrow in a new city and you didn't know the streets, didn't know the landmarks, and had no map, you'd be lost. You'd wander around, guessing your way forward, hoping to land somewhere meaningful. That's exactly how most people treat their future. They're moving, they're doing, they're working, but there's no clear destination, no solid picture in their minds. Just a vague hope that someday things will get better. That's not enough. You can't build a meaningful life on a maybe. You need a clear, strong, sharp vision in your mind. A vision that you can see so clearly it feels like it's already real. That's what it means to visualize success with absolute mental clarity. When you wake up, your mind is like a blank page. What you write on it first thing in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. If the first things you think about are worries, regrets, or confusion, that energy spreads. But if the first things you focus on are your goals, your vision, and the future you're building, everything starts to align. You begin to think differently. You start to move with direction, and that direction brings results. Visualizing your success daily is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a mental strategy. You are programming your mind to believe in the future you are building. But here's where most people get stuck. They hear the word visualize, and they think it's just about daydreaming. They imagine success in general terms and expect results. That's not how it works. Your mind needs detail. It needs clarity. If you want to train your mind to win, you need to show it what winning actually looks like. Not just the end result, but the steps. Not just the feeling of success, but the actions that lead to it. When you close your eyes and picture your goals, what do you see? Can you describe it clearly? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Until your mind can walk through that future like it's already happening, you haven't gone deep enough. Start with your surroundings. Where are you in your vision of success? What does that space look like? What's on the walls? What's around you? Who's there with you? What time is it? What do you hear? The more specific you get, the more your brain begins to accept that vision as familiar. And the more familiar something becomes, the more possible it starts to feel. Possibility leads to belief, and belief changes behavior. That's why clarity matters. A blurry vision won't push you forward. A sharp one will. Next, picture yourself in action. Not just achieving the goal, but doing the work. Visualize the discipline. See yourself waking up early, staying focused, finishing tasks, staying calm under pressure. Feel the resistance, and then feel yourself pushing through it. Picture your face. What does it look like when you're locked in? How does your body move? What do your eyes say? This level of detail trains your mind to handle reality. Because when those moments actually show up in life, you won't be shocked. You'll have already seen yourself succeed in them. And it's not just about what you do, but how you feel while doing it. Imagine the feeling of showing up fully prepared. Feel the pride in your chest as you follow through. Let your body feel what it's like to stay calm when things get tense. These emotions are not just for motivation. They're instructions to your nervous system. You're teaching yourself what confidence feels like, what certainty feels like. And the more often you feel it in your visualization, the easier it becomes to access in real life. This has to be done daily. Not just once when you're feeling good. Not just once a week when you remember. Every day, preferably in the morning before the world starts pulling you in every direction. You need to center your mind before the noise starts. And this isn't about spending an hour sitting still. Even 5 minutes of focused mental clarity can change your direction. You're not trying to escape reality. You're sharpening your focus so that when reality hits, you're ready. Some people say they don't have time. That's not true. They just haven't made it a priority. You have time for what you decide matters. If your success matters, your vision matters. And if your vision matters, you make time to see it clearly. You give it your attention. You feed it every single day. That's how real progress begins. Not by hoping, not by guessing, but by deciding and then reinforcing that decision with mental clarity every single morning. What you picture, your brain begins to accept as real, and that acceptance changes how you act. Think about it. If you start each day believing deep down that success is on the way, how do you think you'll show up? Will you move with hesitation or confidence? Will you procrastinate or act with urgency? That inner picture shapes everything. When your mind sees it, your body follows. Now, this doesn't mean you'll feel perfect every day. Some mornings you'll feel off. Some days you'll wake up tired, frustrated, or distracted. That's normal. But that's exactly when the habit matters most. It's easy to visualize success when you feel motivated. The real power is in doing it when you don't. because those are the days when your mind needs direction the most. And by showing up anyway, you're teaching your brain that clarity and discipline are non-negotiable. One thing that helps is writing it down. Don't just see your vision in your mind. Put it into words. Describe your future. Write about it like it's happening now. Keep it somewhere visible. Read it out loud. Speak it like you mean it. This creates mental alignment. Your eyes see it. Your mouth speaks it. Your ears hear it. And your brain believes it. That's how you shift your identity. You go from someone who hopes things get better to someone who knows exactly where they're going. There will always be outside noise, opinions, distractions, unexpected problems. But when your inner vision is sharp, that noise doesn't throw you off. You stay centered. You stay grounded, because you've already been where you're going in your mind. You've seen it. You've felt it. You've walked through it 100 times. So when the opportunity shows up in real life, you don't hesitate. You're ready? Because you trained for it. And remember, your vision is yours. It doesn't need to match anyone else's. Don't compare it. Don't water it down to please others. This is about what matters to you. What drives you? What you were made to build. Give it the respect it deserves. Honor it every morning. Keep it clear. Keep it strong. Keep it front and center. Because when your mind can see the finish line with absolute clarity, every step becomes more focused, more confident, and more powerful. And that's when you start winning, not just in the future, but right now, one clear vision at a time. Chapter 3. Eliminate distractions to sharpen your mental focus. Distractions are the enemy of progress. They come in many forms: a buzzing phone, an open browser full of tabs, the noise of the world clamoring for your attention. They pull you away from what matters and leave you feeling scattered and overwhelmed. Most people live their lives like this, jumping from one thing to the next, never fully present anywhere. Their minds are busy, but not productive. Their days are filled, but not fulfilled. They wonder why they never reach their goals, why their potential feels out of reach, and why motivation fades so quickly. The harsh truth is, distractions steal your mental energy and your clarity. Until you face this reality, your chances of winning are slim. The problem with distractions is not just the time they take, but the way they break your focus. When you switch from one task to another, your brain has to restart. That restart costs valuable seconds, minutes, and sometimes hours of productivity. Those moments of lost attention add up. By the end of the day, you wonder where the time went and why you didn't accomplish what you set out to do. It's not about working harder, it's about protecting your mental space so you can work smarter. You have to be intentional about where you place your focus, because that determines the quality of your results. Distractions do more than waste time. They drain your mental strength. When your attention is pulled in many directions, your brain becomes tired and less able to solve problems or make decisions. Your emotional state suffers because feeling scattered creates stress and frustration. You end up feeling defeated before you even get started on the important things. The quality of your thoughts diminishes, and with it, the quality of your life. If you want to win mentally, you have to fight distractions daily. Not just once in a while, but consistently. Every distraction you resist builds your mental muscle. Start by recognizing what distracts you most. For some, it is technology. For others, it might be clutter, noise, or even negative people. Be honest. What breaks your focus the fastest? Identify these triggers, because you cannot fix what you do not understand. Once you know what pulls you off track, take steps to control it. Turn off notifications. Set specific times to check emails or messages. Create a dedicated workspace free from unnecessary items. The more you limit interruptions, the clearer your mind becomes. It is important to set boundaries. Say no to things that do not serve your goals. Most distractions come disguised as important demands on your time. People ask for favors. Social events pop up. Random tasks appear. If you say yes to everything, you say no to your own priorities. Mental focus is a choice. It requires discipline. When you learn to protect your focus as if it were your most valuable asset, you create space for progress. You also send a message to yourself that what you are building matters more than anything else. One of the biggest distractions is multitasking. Trying to do several things at once feels productive, but it is actually the opposite. Your brain cannot fully focus on more than one thing at a time. Multitasking reduces the quality of your work and slows you down. When you give your full attention to a single task, you complete it faster and better. Practice focusing on one thing until it is done. This builds your mental stamina and trains your brain to be fully present. The ability to focus deeply is what separates those who win from those who drift. Environment plays a crucial role in your mental focus. A noisy, cluttered, or chaotic environment makes concentration difficult. Create a space that supports your mental clarity. This might mean tidying up, using noise-canceling headphones, or even changing locations. The goal is to make your environment a place where your mind can work without constant interruptions. When your surroundings support your focus, your mind relaxes and your productivity rises. Another critical habit is managing your energy levels. Distractions become harder to resist when you are tired or hungry. Taking care of your body directly impacts your mental strength. Regular breaks, proper nutrition, and enough sleep are not luxuries, they are necessities. When your body is in good shape, your mind stays sharp. You are less likely to seek out distractions because your brain can hold attention longer. Remember, mental focus is not just about willpower, it is also about physical health. Mindfulness is a powerful tool against distraction. When you practice being present in the moment, you become aware of when your mind wanders. Instead of letting your attention drift, you gently bring it back to what matters. This simple act builds your focus like a muscle. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Mindfulness can be as simple as paying attention to your breath for a few minutes or noticing the details in your surroundings. This trains your brain to resist the pull of distractions. Set clear priorities every day. Knowing exactly what you need to accomplish makes it easier to say no to distractions. When your goals are clear, distractions lose their power. You become laser-focused on what matters most. Write down your top tasks each morning and commit to finishing them before moving on. This practice keeps you accountable and creates momentum. When you finish important work consistently, your confidence grows and distractions fade into the background. It is also vital to recognize when a distraction is actually avoidance in disguise. Sometimes your mind seeks distractions to escape discomfort, fear, or uncertainty. Instead of facing a challenging task, you scroll through your phone or watch TV. Understanding this helps you take control. When you catch yourself avoiding, acknowledge the feeling, but do not give in. Choose to act despite discomfort. This strengthens your mental focus and builds courage. Every time you push through, you prove to yourself that distractions do not have to win. Technology is a double-edged sword. It can be a powerful tool or a massive distraction. Use it intentionally. Schedule times for social media, emails, and messages. Outside of those times, stay off your devices. The constant ping of notifications is designed to capture your attention and keep you hooked. Protect your mind by breaking this cycle. Your brain needs long periods of uninterrupted focus to produce meaningful work. Guard those moments fiercely. Deep work or long stretches of focused effort is where real progress happens. Train yourself to work in focused blocks without interruptions. Start small if needed. Even 20 minutes of deep work can make a huge difference. Gradually increase your focus time as your mental muscle grows stronger. During these sessions, eliminate everything that could break your concentration. No phone, no emails, no multitasking. This practice rewires your brain to stay committed and sharp. Be patient with yourself. Eliminating distractions is a process. It takes time to change habits and create new patterns. There will be setbacks. You will get pulled off track. That is normal. The difference is how quickly you bring yourself back. Each time you refocus, you strengthen your mental discipline. Over time, resisting distractions becomes easier and natural. Your mind becomes a tool you control, not something that controls you. Remember, sharpening your mental focus is not just about getting more done. It is about quality. It is about showing up fully present and engaged with your life and your goals. When distractions no longer steal your attention, you tap into deeper creativity, better decision-making, and greater peace of mind. Your energy is directed toward what truly matters. This is how winners think and act. Chapter 4. Replace doubt with relentless self-belief daily. Doubt is a silent enemy that creeps into the mind and chips away at confidence. It disguises itself as caution, as realism, as protection from failure. But the truth is, doubt holds you back more than any obstacle outside of you ever will. It whispers that you are not good enough, that your goals are too big, that you will never measure up. Most people carry this voice inside every day and let it dictate their decisions and actions. That voice creates hesitation, second-guessing, and missed opportunities. When doubt controls you, you lose your power before the race even begins. Self-belief is not just a feel-good phrase. It is a daily practice, a deliberate choice to stand firm in your ability regardless of circumstances. It does not ignore reality, but chooses to focus on what you can control: your mindset, your effort, and your resolve. When you replace doubt with self-belief, you transform how you approach challenges. You move forward with confidence even when the path is unclear. This kind of belief fuels persistence. It sharpens your focus. It makes failure a temporary setback instead of a permanent defeat. The first step to building relentless self-belief is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind. Notice when doubt shows up. It might say you are not ready, not smart enough, or not deserving. When those thoughts appear, do not ignore them or pretend they do not exist. Acknowledge them. Thank them for trying to protect you. Then choose to challenge them. Replace those doubts with truths about your strengths, your past wins, and your capacity to learn. This practice rewires your thinking. You are telling your brain which voice to listen to. It is important to feed your mind daily with affirmations of your worth and ability. These are not empty words, but statements rooted in your experiences and intentions. Repeat them with conviction. Speak them out loud. Write them down and revisit them often. This repetition builds a foundation of confidence that doubt cannot easily shake. You are planting seeds of certainty in the soil of your mind. Over time, these seeds grow into a strong tree of self-trust that stands tall during storms. Surround yourself with positive influences that reinforce your belief. This means choosing people who support your dreams, who believe in your potential, and who challenge you to be better. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy or feed your insecurities. Environment matters. Your mind absorbs the attitudes and beliefs of those around you. When you are in a community that encourages relentless self-belief, it becomes easier to maintain it within yourself. Visualize yourself acting with confidence. Imagine situations where doubt tries to creep in and see yourself responding with assurance and clarity. Picture yourself speaking up, making decisions, and taking action without hesitation. These mental rehearsals prepare your mind to handle real moments of uncertainty. The more you practice, the more natural confidence becomes. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is training your mind for success. Action is a critical component in replacing doubt with belief. Doubt often thrives in inactivity. When you hesitate, procrastinate, or avoid challenges, doubt grows louder. Taking even small steps forward, despite fear or uncertainty, weakens doubt's hold. Each action you take is proof to yourself that you can handle what comes your way. Momentum builds from movement. The act of doing shifts your identity from someone who doubts to someone who believes. Expect setbacks, but do not let them shake your belief. Failure is part of growth. When things go wrong, remind yourself that one mistake does not define your ability. Learn from it and keep moving forward. Resilience is built by facing difficulties and refusing to let them determine your worth. The people who achieve great things are not those without doubt, but those who refuse to let doubt stop them. They persist because they believe in their capacity to improve and succeed over time. Celebrate your progress regularly. Recognize the moments when you acted despite doubt. Acknowledge your efforts, no matter how small they seem. This reinforces positive behavior and encourages continued belief. It builds a habit of focusing on wins rather than failures. Over time, your brain starts to notice your successes more than your doubts, which shifts your mindset toward confidence naturally. Learn to silence your inner critic by questioning its validity. When doubt speaks, ask yourself if the thought is true, helpful, or based on fear. Replace exaggerated fears with facts. Often, doubt is a distortion of reality. By challenging these thoughts, you reduce their power. This mental questioning strengthens your critical thinking and protects your confidence from false attacks. Remember that self-belief is not arrogance. It is not thinking you are better than others. It is knowing you have value and potential regardless of your current situation. It is a deep sense of respect for yourself that motivates you to keep improving. When your belief is rooted in humility and honesty, it becomes a sustainable force that carries you through hard times. Develop a routine that reinforces your belief every day. This might include reading inspiring books, listening to motivational talks, journaling your strengths, or meditating on your goals. Consistency in these habits builds a mental environment where doubt finds less room to grow. Your mind becomes a garden of positivity and strength, cultivated through daily care. In moments of uncertainty, remind yourself of past challenges you have overcome. Reflect on how you navigated tough times and came out stronger. These memories are evidence that you can handle difficulty. They serve as a shield against current doubts. Your history of resilience becomes a foundation to stand on when new challenges arise. Believing in yourself relentlessly means refusing to hand your power over to fear or other people's opinions. It means trusting your ability to learn, adapt, and succeed even when the road is tough. This mindset changes everything because it gives you control over your story. You become the author of your life, writing it with courage and conviction. Building relentless self-belief takes work, but it is the most important investment you can make. It changes how you see yourself and the world. It fuels action, builds resilience, and unlocks potential. When you commit to this daily practice, doubt loses its grip, and your mind becomes your greatest ally in winning every situation. Chapter 5. Train your response, not your reaction to stress. Stress is a part of life. It hits everyone without warning. Yet, the way most people handle stress holds them captive. They react in ways that drain their energy, cloud their judgment, and steal their peace. When stress arrives, some lash out in anger, others freeze in fear, and many fall into despair. These reactions are automatic, often uncontrollable, and ultimately harmful. The reality is that stress itself is unavoidable, but how you respond to it can be learned and shaped. Training your response to stress is what separates those who succeed under pressure from those who crumble. The first thing to understand is the difference between a reaction and a response. A reaction is immediate and emotional. It is driven by instinct and often lacks thought. Reactions are usually short-sighted and fueled by fear or frustration. On the other hand, a response is deliberate. It involves awareness, calmness, and choice. You respond after you pause and assess the situation. This pause creates a powerful space where control replaces chaos. Training your mind to respond rather than react requires effort and practice, but it rewires how your brain works during stressful moments. When stress appears, your body triggers a fight or flight mode. Your heart races, your muscles tense, and your mind narrows. This is natural. The problem comes when you allow these automatic signals to dictate your behavior without control. Most people mistake these signals as commands to react immediately. Learning to recognize the physical signs of stress gives you an opportunity to slow down. When you feel your body tighten or your breath quicken, use it as a cue to pause. Take deep breaths and give yourself a moment to gain perspective. Breathing is the most accessible tool to manage stress in the moment. It calms your nervous system and brings oxygen to your brain, improving clarity. When stress strikes, slow down your breath intentionally. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold it briefly, and then exhale fully through your mouth. Repeat this several times until your body relaxes. This simple act interrupts the reactive cycle and opens the door to conscious response. Practicing controlled breathing daily trains your mind and body to remain calm during pressure. The way you talk to yourself in stressful situations shapes your response. Negative self-talk fuels reactionary behavior. It might sound like you cannot handle this is too much, or I will fail. These thoughts trigger fear and helplessness. Replace them with affirmations that empower you to stay steady. Tell yourself, I am capable of managing this. I will focus on what I can control, or this challenge is temporary. Speaking to yourself with kindness and confidence trains your brain to approach stress with resilience. Reframing your perspective on stress changes everything. Instead of seeing stress as a threat, view it as a signal that something important requires your attention. Stress becomes an opportunity to grow, learn, and prove your strength. When you shift your mindset in this way, your response becomes proactive instead of reactive. You start seeking solutions instead of dwelling on problems. This mental shift takes time, but has a profound impact on your ability to stay composed under pressure. Preparation is a key element in managing stress effectively. Anticipate situations that cause you pressure and create a plan for how you will handle them. When you face stressful moments with a clear strategy, your mind is less likely to panic. Preparation builds confidence because you know what steps to take. Write down your plan or visualize yourself handling stress calmly and effectively. Mental rehearsal strengthens your ability to respond wisely when stress arrives unexpectedly. Physical exercise plays a critical role in training your response to stress. Regular movement releases tension and balances your mood. When your body is strong and healthy, your mind stays resilient. Exercise also teaches discipline and builds confidence, which carry over into stressful situations. Find a form of activity you enjoy and commit to it regularly. This habit becomes a buffer that reduces the intensity of stress reactions when they come. Setting boundaries in your life reduces unnecessary stress and protects your mental state. Saying no to tasks or commitments that overwhelm you is not selfish. It is essential for maintaining control. When you take on too much, your ability to respond well diminishes. Your brain becomes overloaded and prone to react emotionally. Clear boundaries create mental space and keep your energy focused on what matters most. Sleep is often overlooked but crucial for stress management. Lack of rest lowers your threshold for stress and makes reactions more intense. Prioritize good sleep hygiene by keeping a consistent schedule, creating a restful environment, and avoiding stimulants before bed. When your mind and body are well rested, you are better equipped to handle pressure with calmness and clarity. Practice mindfulness to increase your awareness of stress triggers and your typical reactions. Mindfulness helps you observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This distance gives you the power to choose how to respond. Incorporate mindfulness exercises such as meditation, body scans, or focused attention into your daily routine. Over time, this practice develops a greater capacity for emotional regulation during stressful moments. Developing emotional intelligence is essential in training your response to stress. Recognize what emotions stress triggers within you. Are you feeling fear, frustration, sadness, or anger? Understanding your emotional landscape helps you process feelings healthily rather than reacting impulsively. Use tools like journaling or talking to a trusted friend to explore your emotions. Emotional awareness strengthens your ability to stay balanced and respond constructively. Create rituals that ground you during stressful times. This might be a short walk, listening to calming music, or writing down your thoughts. Rituals provide a sense of control and stability when life feels chaotic. They remind your brain that you have coping mechanisms in place. Consistently using these grounding practices trains your mind to switch from reactive to responsive states. Accept that not all stress can be eliminated. Some challenges are part of life's reality. Your goal is not to avoid stress, but to master your response to it. This mastery comes from persistence and self-compassion. When you slip into reaction, acknowledge it without harsh judgment. Use it as a learning moment and recommit to training your response. Growth happens through consistent effort, not perfection. Surround yourself with people who model calm and thoughtful responses to stress. Observe how they handle pressure and learn from their example. Seek support when needed. Sometimes sharing your stress with a trusted person can lessen its impact and provide new perspectives. Knowing you are not alone builds courage to face stress with confidence. Challenge yourself with small daily stresses as training grounds. Take situations that cause mild discomfort and practice responding calmly. This could be handling a difficult conversation, waiting patiently in a line, or managing a sudden change in plans. Each successful experience builds your resilience and trains your brain to maintain control under pressure. Chapter 6. Reframe every failure as a lesson learned. Failure feels like defeat. It hits hard and shakes confidence. Many people stop when they fail. They feel embarrassed, discouraged, or even hopeless. But failure is not the end. It is not a sign that you are less capable or not meant for success. The truth is, failure is a necessary part of growth. It is an opportunity to learn what does not work and discover how to improve. How you view failure determines whether you will rise or fall after it happens. Most people see failure as something negative to avoid at all costs. This mindset keeps them stuck. They become afraid to try new things, scared of making mistakes, and hesitant to take risks. When you reframe failure as a lesson, you remove the fear and open the door to courage. You begin to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This shift changes your relationship with challenges and turns obstacles into opportunities. Learning to reframe failure starts with changing the story you tell yourself about it. Instead of saying, "I failed and I am not good enough," say, "I learned something valuable that will help me next time." Instead of feeling shame, focus on curiosity. Ask yourself what went wrong and why. This honest self-reflection is not about blaming yourself, but about understanding the situation clearly. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to extract lessons from any setback. One powerful way to turn failure into learning is to write down your experiences. Describe what happened, how you felt, and what you think caused the failure. Then list what you can do differently in the future. Putting your thoughts on paper helps organize your mind and makes the lesson more concrete. It also gives you a record to review when you face new challenges, reminding you that failure is a normal part of progress. Another key to reframing failure is to separate your identity from your results. Your value as a person is not tied to how many times you fail or succeed. Failure is just feedback on a specific action or decision. It does not define who you are. When you stop identifying with failure, you reduce the emotional weight it carries. This emotional distance allows you to see failures objectively and respond with wisdom. Remember, many successful people failed repeatedly before reaching their goals. They did not quit because of failure. Instead, they treated each failure as a lesson and kept moving forward. Their persistence came from the understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, but part of it. By adopting this mindset, you give yourself permission to keep trying without fear of judgment or disappointment. It is also important to avoid making the same mistake twice. Learning from failure means applying what you have discovered. If you fail at managing time because of distractions, develop new habits to stay focused. If a relationship fails due to poor communication, work on listening and expressing yourself clearly. This commitment to growth shows that failure has led to positive change rather than repeated setbacks. Sometimes failure feels overwhelming because it challenges your expectations and plans. It is natural to feel upset when things do not go as hoped. Allow yourself to experience those feelings fully. Do not suppress frustration or sadness. Processing emotions honestly prevents them from building up and interfering with your ability to learn. After this emotional release, return your attention to the lesson failure offers. Failure can also teach humility. It reminds you that no one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes. This awareness fosters empathy and patience for yourself and others. When you accept failure as a universal experience, you feel less isolated and more connected to the human journey. This connection encourages resilience and compassion in the face of difficulty. Turning failure into a lesson often requires feedback from others. Seek honest opinions from trusted people who can provide a fresh perspective. Sometimes we miss important details because we are too close to the situation. Feedback helps identify blind spots and suggests solutions you may not have considered. Be open to constructive criticism as a gift that accelerates your learning and growth. Visualizing future success despite failure strengthens your mindset. Imagine yourself applying the lessons from failure and achieving your goals. See the steps you take and the progress you make. This mental picture motivates you to keep moving forward and reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome setbacks. Visualization acts like a mental rehearsal that builds confidence and resilience. Celebrate small wins even after failure. Every lesson learned and every improvement counts. Recognize your effort and courage to face challenges. Gratitude for progress fuels positive emotions and encourages perseverance. When you celebrate growth, you create a cycle of motivation that makes failure less frightening and more manageable. Avoid comparing your failures to others. Everyone's journey is unique. What looks like a quick success from the outside often hides many failures and struggles. Comparing yourself to others can cause discouragement and self-doubt. Focus on your own path, your own lessons, and your own pace. Personal growth is an individual process, not a competition. When you fail, focus on the process instead of the outcome. What did you do well? What skills or knowledge did you develop? This approach keeps your attention on continuous improvement rather than perfection. It also makes failure less personal and more about the work itself. Concentrating on the process builds momentum and resilience for future challenges. Keep a long-term perspective when dealing with failure. Immediate results do not tell the full story. Some lessons take time to show their value. Success often requires patience and persistence beyond the first setback. Trust that every failure contributes to your development and eventual achievement. Learning to reframe failure requires intentional practice. It is not easy to change lifelong beliefs overnight. Start by noticing your thoughts when failure occurs. Catch yourself before falling into negativity. Replace those thoughts with constructive questions and statements. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to automatically look for lessons instead of giving in to despair. Being honest with yourself about failure is essential. Avoid excuses or denial. Facing failure head-on allows you to grow from it. Accept responsibility for your part in the outcome without harsh self-criticism. This balanced approach builds integrity and strengthens your character. Sometimes failure teaches you what you do not want. It clarifies your values and priorities. If a particular path or goal leads to repeated failure, it may be a sign to adjust your direction. This insight is a valuable outcome of reframing failure because it helps align your efforts with what truly matters to you. Creating a failure journal or log can be an effective tool. Write down each failure, what you learned, and how you will apply the lesson. Review this journal regularly to remind yourself of progress and the wisdom gained. This practice reinforces the mindset that failure is a teacher, not an enemy. In times of failure, remind yourself that success is built on a foundation of many failures. Every expert, every leader, and every innovator has faced setbacks. Their difference lies in their response. They used failure as a stepping stone, not a stopping point. You have that same power within you. Chapter 7. Practice mental discipline through daily challenges. The mind is like a muscle. If it is never tested or pushed, it becomes weak and easily overwhelmed. Many people live through their days reacting to what happens without any real control over their thoughts or emotions. This leads to feeling stuck, frustrated, or powerless. Mental discipline is the ability to control your thinking, stay focused, and act with purpose, even when things get tough. Without it, distractions, doubts, and stress easily take over. Mental discipline does not come naturally to most. It is built through daily practice and intentional challenges. It is easy to feel overwhelmed when life throws obstacles your way. But instead of running from discomfort or difficulty, use these moments to build mental strength. When you face a small challenge and refuse to give up, you are training your mind to stand strong in bigger storms. This is like exercise for your brain. You develop endurance, focus, and clarity by facing something tough and sticking with it. One way to develop mental discipline is to create small daily tasks that require focus and consistency. This could be something simple like waking up at the same time every morning or committing to a short period of uninterrupted work. These small victories reinforce the habit of control and prepare your mind for larger challenges. Each time you push through a small barrier, you prove to yourself that you are capable. This builds confidence and resilience. Discipline means choosing what serves your goals over what feels easy or comfortable. It means resisting the urge to give in to distractions or negative thoughts. Practicing this regularly rewires your brain to favor action instead of hesitation. When distractions arise, instead of giving in, pause and decide to refocus. This deliberate choice strengthens your mental muscles and trains your mind to stay on track. Facing discomfort daily builds mental toughness. Discomfort might be boredom, frustration, or physical tiredness, but these sensations test your ability to stay committed. The key is to learn how to accept discomfort without letting it control you. When your mind starts to resist, acknowledge the feeling, but do not let it dictate your behavior. Keep moving forward anyway. This builds self-control and teaches your brain that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Mental discipline requires patience. You will not become mentally strong overnight. Every day you practice is another step forward. Some days will be easier than others. When you struggle, remind yourself that struggle is part of growth. Instead of giving up when things get hard, use those moments to strengthen your resolve. The more you persist, the more your mental discipline deepens. A useful technique is to set clear intentions each morning about what mental discipline you want to practice. For example, decide to focus completely on one task without checking your phone, or choose to speak kindly to yourself when faced with criticism. By naming your daily mental challenge, you give yourself a target and a reason to stay accountable. Intentionality turns vague goals into clear actions. It is important to understand that mental discipline is not about harshness or punishment. It is about respect for yourself and your goals. You are training your mind so you can live more freely and effectively. Discipline frees you from chaotic thoughts and impulsive reactions. It gives you control over your day and your future. When you see discipline as a tool for empowerment rather than restriction, it becomes easier to embrace. Mental discipline also means learning to delay gratification. In a world full of instant pleasures, this can be one of the hardest things to practice. But the ability to say no to short-term temptations in favor of long-term rewards separates those who reach their potential from those who settle. Each time you resist a distraction or indulgence, you build a stronger mind that values meaningful success over fleeting comfort. Another crucial aspect is managing your mental energy. Discipline is easier to maintain when your mind is well rested and nourished. Pay attention to your sleep, nutrition, and breaks. Mental exhaustion reduces focus and makes it harder to resist impulses. By caring for your body and mind, you create the foundation for sustained discipline. Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessary part of mental training. Challenge your mind regularly with new experiences. Learning a new skill, solving puzzles, or reading challenging material stretches your brain in different ways. These exercises increase mental flexibility and prevent stagnation. A disciplined mind is also a curious mind that embraces growth. By pushing yourself to try new things, you build mental stamina and confidence. It is helpful to track your progress. Keep a journal or log of your daily mental challenges and how you responded. Write honestly about moments of weakness and strength. This reflection deepens your awareness of your mental habits and patterns. Awareness is the first step to change. Tracking also motivates you to continue because you can see your improvements over time. When setbacks occur, mental discipline shows its true value. Instead of reacting with frustration or giving up, a disciplined mind steps back, reassesses, and recommits. This ability to recover quickly is what keeps you moving forward. Mental discipline makes you less vulnerable to emotional swings and more steady in pursuing your goals. Accountability can help strengthen discipline. Share your mental challenges with someone you trust or join a group with similar goals. Knowing others are aware of your commitment adds motivation to stay consistent. Accountability partners offer support and encouragement when discipline wanes. Avoid multitasking because it splits your attention and weakens focus. Discipline grows stronger when you concentrate on one thing at a time. When distractions arise, gently bring your attention back without judgment. This practice of returning your focus is like weightlifting for your mind. Recognize that mental discipline impacts every part of your life. It improves relationships, work, and health because it helps you act with intention rather than impulse. When your mind is disciplined, your decisions align with your values and long-term goals. This alignment creates harmony and progress in all areas. Mental discipline also improves emotional regulation. You become less reactive to stress or anger and more capable of responding thoughtfully. This emotional control reduces conflict and builds inner peace. When emotions are managed, you can maintain clarity and focus on what matters most. Your environment influences your mental discipline. Surround yourself with people and things that support your goals. Remove temptations and distractions as much as possible. Creating a supportive environment makes discipline easier and more natural. It shows respect for your commitment and reduces unnecessary struggles. Practice self-compassion when discipline slips. Everyone has moments of weakness. Treat yourself kindly and get back on track without harsh judgment. Self-compassion fosters a positive mindset that supports sustained effort. Discipline is a journey, not a perfect performance. Finally, remember that practicing mental discipline through daily challenges builds a mind that wins. It creates a foundation for success that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This mental strength empowers you to face any situation with confidence and calm. The effort you invest in discipline today shapes the quality of your tomorrow. Chapter 8. Set clear goals and repeat them aloud. Most people drift through life without a clear sense of where they are going. They have hopes or wishes but no defined destination. This is why many end up frustrated and stuck. Without clear goals, the mind wanders, motivation fades, and progress stalls. The first step to training your mind to win is to set clear, specific goals. Goals act like a compass, giving your mind a direction and a purpose. Without that direction, energy scatters and achievements become random or rare. Clear goals must be more than just vague ideas. Saying you want to be successful or happy is too broad. Specificity gives your mind a target to focus on. For example, instead of saying you want to get fit, decide exactly what fitness means for you. How many days a week will you exercise? What kind of exercise? How will you measure progress? The clearer your goals, the easier it is for your mind to organize and direct your efforts toward them. Once your goals are set, repeating them aloud has a powerful effect. Saying your goals out loud forces your brain to pay attention. It takes a vague thought and makes it concrete and real. Speaking goals also connects your mind with your voice and body, creating a stronger mental impression. This repetition keeps your goals fresh and active in your mind. The more often you repeat them, the more you build focus and commitment. Speaking your goals aloud also helps to overcome doubts and fears. When you say your intentions clearly and confidently, it sends a message to your subconscious that you are serious. This encourages your brain to find ways to support your goals, rather than create excuses. Hearing your goals regularly reduces mental resistance and builds belief in your ability to achieve them. Goals need to be stated in the present tense, as if they are happening now. This creates a sense of immediacy and ownership. For example, instead of saying I will get better at public speaking, say I speak clearly and confidently in front of groups. Present tense makes your mind act as though the goal is already happening. This triggers behaviors and decisions that align with that reality. Visualizing your goals as you speak them adds another layer of power. Picture yourself achieving what you say aloud. See the details, feel the emotions, and imagine the pride or satisfaction. This mental image makes your goals emotionally compelling, which drives motivation. The more you connect your goals with strong, positive feelings, the more your mind will work to make them real. Clarity in your goals also helps you prioritize daily actions. When you know exactly what you want, it becomes easier to decide how to spend your time and energy. You naturally say yes to activities that move you closer to your goal and no to distractions. This focus protects your mental energy from being wasted on irrelevant or unproductive tasks. Writing down your goals complements speaking them aloud. The physical act of writing engages your mind and helps organize your thoughts. Seeing your goals on paper creates accountability and a visual reminder. You can review and adjust your goals as needed, keeping them relevant and inspiring. It is important to set goals that challenge you but are still achievable. Unrealistic goals lead to frustration and discouragement. Too easy goals do not push your mind to grow. The sweet spot lies in goals that stretch your limits just enough to spark effort and learning. Each small success on the way boosts confidence and fuels momentum. Breaking large goals into smaller steps makes them manageable and less overwhelming. These smaller milestones act as checkpoints. Celebrating progress at these points keeps your mind motivated and positive. Small wins build confidence and remind you that the bigger goal is possible. Consistency in repeating your goals aloud matters most in the morning and before sleep. These times are when your mind is most receptive. Starting your day by declaring your goals sets a purposeful tone. Ending your day by reviewing them embeds them deeply into your subconscious. Over time, this routine transforms your mindset to one of determination and focus. Sharing your goals with a trusted person can increase your commitment. When you speak your goals to someone else, it strengthens your accountability. Others can offer support, encouragement, and gentle reminders when your focus slips. Community and connection help reinforce your mental habits. Challenges and setbacks will occur, but clear goals keep your mind anchored. When obstacles arise, your goals remind you why you keep going. They act like a mental lifeline that pulls you back to your purpose. This focus is what separates those who give up from those who win. Mind training through goal setting requires patience and persistence. Your goals may evolve as you grow, and that is natural. Keep your goals flexible enough to adapt, but firm enough to keep you moving forward. Mental clarity comes from regularly reviewing and renewing your intentions. A disciplined mind sees goals not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth. Each goal achieved expands your confidence and belief in what you can do. This cycle of setting, speaking, acting, and achieving builds unstoppable momentum. The power of clear goals repeated aloud lies in how they program your mind for success. They shift your thinking from wandering to focused. They turn hope into action and dreams into reality. This simple but powerful practice trains your mind to win, not by chance, but by design. Being selective about your mental diet also means paying attention to the emotions that content stirs in you. Choose materials that empower, encourage, and expand your perspective. Avoid content that triggers fear, envy, or helplessness. Your emotions act like a radar indicating whether what you are feeding your mind is helping or hurting your progress. Trust these signals and adjust accordingly. Surrounding yourself with people who share a positive mindset also counts as feeding your mind. Conversations, debates, and support from like-minded individuals provide fresh insights and encouragement. The energy of a positive community is contagious. It pushes you to grow and keeps your mental environment healthy. Isolation or constant exposure to negative attitudes drains your motivation and clouds your judgment. Your mind learns through repetition. Returning to a powerful book or listening again to a motivational speech reinforces its lessons and embeds them deeper into your thinking. Revisiting core principles and ideas keeps them alive in your mind so they become second nature. This repetition turns mental training into a habit rather than a temporary effort. The effort to feed your mind with empowering content requires discipline and intention. It means carving out time in your busy schedule for learning and reflection. It means resisting the temptation to fill every moment with distractions. The payoff is a sharper, more resilient mind that can face challenges without fear or confusion. This mental clarity becomes a foundation for making better choices, solving problems, and taking bold steps toward your goals. Sometimes, feeding your mind will feel like hard work. It may require pushing through boredom or discomfort as you stretch your thinking. This discomfort is a sign of growth. Mental growth often comes from facing new ideas that challenge old beliefs. The struggle to understand and apply empowering content strengthens your mind and builds confidence. This is the kind of training that prepares you to win in any situation. You have the power to choose what fills your mind every day. By committing to consume empowering content, you create an environment where success is more likely. Your thoughts become sharper, your attitude brighter, and your vision clearer. The simple daily habit of feeding your mind well builds a fortress of mental strength that supports you through tough times. Feeding your mind is not about escaping reality or avoiding problems. It is about equipping yourself to face reality with courage and wisdom. When your mind is nourished, you respond to challenges with calm and creativity instead of fear and confusion. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. This mental edge is the difference between giving up and pushing through to victory. Over time, the daily practice of feeding your mind transforms your thinking from reactive to proactive. You begin to control your mental environment instead of letting outside forces control it. This shift empowers you to make choices aligned with your goals and values. It makes winning in every situation not just a hope, but a habit. This is the foundation of a winning mindset, a mind consistently fed with empowering ideas, strengthened by knowledge and guided by purpose. The content you consume daily becomes the building blocks of your success. It is a simple truth that those who feed their minds well are the ones who rise above and achieve greatness. Chapter 10. Stick to routines that build mental strength. The truth is, most people struggle every day with inconsistency. They know what they should do, yet they do not do it regularly. The hard reality is that without a steady routine, your mind becomes scattered, weak, and vulnerable to distractions and doubts. Mental strength is not something that happens by chance. It is built piece by piece, day by day, through the power of routine. Many fail to realize that mental toughness is forged not in moments of sudden inspiration, but in the quiet discipline of repeated, focused action. When your mind is trained through consistent routines, you create a foundation of stability that can carry you through any storm. Routines provide structure and predictability. They allow you to automate good habits so your energy is not wasted on decisions that drain your willpower. Think about how exhausting it is to decide every little thing throughout the day. Routines reduce this mental load, freeing up space for creativity and problem-solving. This is why people with strong mental habits handle stress better and bounce back faster from setbacks. Building mental strength through routine requires more than just good intentions. It demands clear choices about what you will do daily without fail. This means identifying actions that feed your mind, body, and spirit in positive ways. Whether it is waking up early, journaling, reading, or exercising, these repeated activities train your brain to expect growth and progress. Over time, this repeated practice changes your brain's wiring. The more consistent you are, the more natural these behaviors become, turning discipline into second nature. The challenge many face is the temptation to skip or shorten these routines when life gets busy or difficult. This is where mental strength is tested. Staying true to your routines, even when motivation wanes, separates those who succeed from those who give up. The mind grows stronger by meeting these small tests of will. Each time you push through resistance and keep your routine, you prove to yourself that you are in control. This builds confidence and a sense of personal power that spills over into all areas of life. Your routines should be designed to develop every part of your mental strength. This includes focus, patience, emotional control, and resilience. For example, practicing meditation or deep breathing daily trains your mind to calm itself when stress arises. Setting aside time for focused work sessions builds concentration and reduces procrastination. Reflecting on your day with honesty develops self-awareness and the ability to learn from mistakes. These small, intentional habits compound into a robust mental framework that supports your goals. Consistency in routines is also crucial because the mind resists change. Without regular habits, distractions and negative thoughts fill the void. When you stop following your routines, your mind starts to wander and doubt creeps in. This can lead to a downward spiral of lost focus and shrinking self-belief. A daily routine acts like a safety net, catching your mind before it falls into destructive patterns. It keeps you anchored and moving forward no matter what challenges arise. The environment around you plays a vital role in supporting your routines. Creating a physical space that encourages your mental habits can make all the difference. This means organizing your workspace, minimizing distractions, and keeping tools or materials you need readily available. When your surroundings align with your goals, sticking to your routines becomes easier and more enjoyable. Your environment either strengthens your mental muscle or weakens it. There is power in routines because they teach patience. Results rarely happen overnight. Building mental strength is a marathon, not a sprint. Your mind must get used to steady progress rather than quick fixes. This requires trusting the process and staying committed to your habits, even when immediate rewards are not visible. Patience learned through routine helps you weather the slow times with calm and determination. Routines also create momentum. The first few days of a new habit are the hardest because everything is unfamiliar. But once you build momentum by showing up regularly, it becomes easier to keep going. This momentum acts like a snowball, gaining size and speed as it rolls. Momentum carries your mind forward through moments of doubt or fatigue, making mental strength more reliable and consistent. An important part of mental strength through routine is flexibility within discipline. Life is unpredictable, and rigid routines that cannot adapt will eventually break down. Being mentally strong means knowing when to adjust your routines without abandoning them. This balance keeps your mind sharp and ready to face new challenges while maintaining steady progress. Flexibility within your structure allows for growth without chaos. Mental strength also grows through the deliberate setting of priorities within your routines. Focusing on high-impact habits that contribute the most to your goals ensures your efforts are not wasted. This means learning to say no to activities that drain your energy or distract you from what matters. The discipline to prioritize daily is a sign of a strong mind. It shows you value your time and mental clarity above momentary pleasure or convenience. Self-reflection is a crucial routine for maintaining mental strength. Taking time regularly to review your progress, celebrate wins, and identify areas for improvement keeps your mind honest and motivated. This reflection sharpens your focus and allows you to course-correct before small issues become big problems. Without this check-in, routines can become mechanical and lose their power to build strength. Remember, mental strength is a muscle that grows through consistent training. Your routines are the exercises that make this muscle stronger. Skipping your mental workouts weakens your resolve. Sticking to your routines builds confidence, resilience, and a clear mind. The small victories of each day add up to unstoppable momentum that carries you through life's toughest battles. Every morning you have a choice. You can start the day with purpose and routine or drift aimlessly and reactive. The power lies in choosing routines that challenge you to grow. The path to a winning mind is paved with small but deliberate steps, repeated day after day. Mental strength does not come from luck or talent, but from consistent action fueled by clear intention. When life tests your patience and resolve, your routines become the anchor that keeps you steady. They create a rhythm that your mind can rely on, even in chaos. This reliability breeds confidence and a deep sense of control over your destiny. Mental strength built through routine becomes an unstoppable force that transforms challenges into opportunities. There is no shortcut to mental strength. It is earned through repetition, focus, and unwavering commitment to your habits. Each routine you follow is an investment in your future self. Over time, this investment compounds into wisdom, clarity, and the ability to win regardless of circumstances. The mind trained by routine is a mind prepared for anything. Your greatest asset is your mental strength. Protect it, build it, and honor it with daily routines designed to keep your mind sharp, disciplined, and ready. The strength you develop will echo in every decision, every challenge, and every success. The power of routine is simple but profound. It is the backbone of a mind trained to win.